We all have a tendency to blame our kit when things don't go our way, and for me that happens nowhere more than when riding gravel. If I get dropped or there's a section I can't ride, then the first thing I do is make sure everyone knows that the prime reason for me coming unstuck is either my tyres or position or gearing, basically whatever pops into my head first. Well, today I'm joined by our resident graveller Suvi to see just how much difference your bike can make when riding the rough stuff.
Whether to spend a little, a lot or get a hardtail mountain bike is a question that many budding gravelers ask, but there's more to this decision than Jamie might initially realise. That's because I've entered him into the Ekoi Stone Circle gravel event right here tomorrow morning. Oh, it's actually a 215k gravel event that you're going to be doing tomorrow.
Oh crap!
So you have some decision making to do here.
Right,
in terms of what bike.
What is my decision? What do I have here?
In front of you, you have the Marine Nicosio Plus gravel bike.
Yeah.
So that is kind of like an entry-level budget-friendly bike.
Yeah.
Retails for just over £1,000, £1,045.
It is a lovely colour, and this is the one that's been picking up loads of excellent reviews from all of our competitors.
Definitely.
Isn't it? What's the spec?
You get 1x9 group set, so you get micro shift.
It does look like I've got plenty of range. So that's a 42 tooth ring on the front and then a 1146.
Yeah, 46, yeah, at the back, yeah. So you have plenty of gears.
Yeah.
And it's also rolling on smaller wheels, so it's 650B wheels and with 47mm tires.
They
so
look
you
pretty
should be
chunky.
quite, plush, comfy ride. And you get cable operated disc brakes, so no hydraulic brakes there.
Normally my favourite.
They'll still hopefully stop you.
Hopefully. We'll come find out in a minute. Plenty of mounting points. I can see there's some here. Mudguard mounts.
Mudguard mounts and all. So you could do a whole bikepacking trip over the 215k that we're about to do tomorrow.
I don't know why you've entered me into this. My longest ride this year is probably about 2 hours or something.
It's just the 2 hours, but multiple times.
It's not exactly light, is it?
But that's just going to make you go faster on the downhill, so just...
Let's go find out.
Exactly.
The other day at a gravel event, I saw riders on all sorts, from CX bikes to hardtail mountain bikes, and then obviously gravel bikes, but no two of them look the same. So we wondered how much you're actually disadvantaging yourself by being on the right or the wrong kind of bike, whether that be cheap or expensive, drop bar or flat bar. First up, we have the entry-level gravel bike, and like all bikes at this price point, clearly it's going to have some limitations. But will they actually make gravel riding any less enjoyable, or more importantly, make me any slower? The first thing I've noted is that there is a fair bit of vibration coming up through these bars, even with these 650B wheels and 47mm tyres. That's most likely because the frame and the fork are made of steel, and then this handlebar is aluminium. Now, I've got nothing against alloy bikes. In fact, I absolutely love my aluminium Alley Sprint, but recent carbon frames have exceptional vibration damping characteristics, and they're simply hard to match. Unfortunately, around this £1,000 mark, carbon gravel bikes are simply impossible to find. In fact, you'd be hard pressed to even find one second hand for that kind of money. That said, if you're sticking to well-laid gravel or only going out for a few hours, then the sensible money is probably on aluminium or steel.
So this here is the bike that I'm going to be riding at the event tomorrow, and Jamie might be riding this as well. This is the Lauf Segler.
We won't both fit on the same bike.
Maybe I have been inspired with my choice by Jamie because he happens to ride one of these as well. It's kind of like a mix between a gravel bike and a mountain bike because you have the suspension fork, so it's got a little bit less than 30mm of travel at the front. And other than that, I have very grippy gravel tyres on. So I've got the Schwalbe G1Rs, which have good tread pattern, and they're 45mm wide. I've still got lots of clearance if it happens to rain and there's lots of mud and all sorts. Set up tubeless, absolute must for gravel. In terms of gearing, I have 42 chainring at the front, and I have 10 to 44 set at the back. So plenty of gears. Of course, one other difference that you'll find on premium gravel bikes like this Segler is that the gears are electronic. So although by no means they are a must, they do feel quick and accurate, so I'm always confident that I'm in the right one at the right time.
You're just showing off, Suvi. You don't need electronic gears.
Maybe not, but they are very nice.
Mechanical gears have been fine for absolutely years. They work fairly perfectly as long as you keep on top of the maintenance, and you can do the maintenance at home. I don't think these mechanical gears are slowing me down. Although electronic gears with the SRAM Apex AXS, which you can check out using the link up there, has brought electronic gears down to a much cheaper price.
I think on longer distance as well, it's less stress on the hands. It's something that is a slight tiny thing, but then when the amount of gear shifts that you do doing 215k, it's a lot. And when it's a little tap instead of like a purpose swipe.
And if it's really cold as well.
Yeah.
I'm also finding that this little trigger here is a little bit of a pain to find when you're bouncing down a descent. One thing that I think we can both agree on is these cable pull disc brakes.
Yeah.
I have been losing ground to you down descents all day, and I am going to blame the brakes for that, not just my poor technical ability, because I just don't feel as confident with them. I don't think they have the same power or modulation, and they seem to keep on rubbing every now and again.
Yeah, they're a lot harder to set up so that, they won't rub. I think, I would compromise with the gears, but not the brakes.
Yeah, agreed.
Definitely. So let's move on to the next option then.
Oh, I got another option, do I?
You do?
Ooh.
You might have heard people say that today's gravel bikes are getting more and more like mountain bikes, and to find out, here's Jamie on a mountain bike.
Oh yes, I've been riding mountain bikes on gravel roads since I even knew gravel was a thing. And well, a lightweight one like this Factor Lando HT is pretty damn quick. A mountain bike is basically a gravel bike on steroids, where gravel bikes have slacker angles than a road bike. A mountain bike takes that one step further. And finally, there's one big difference, and that is, of course, these flat bars. They're super comfy and really rather wide. That gives oodles of control, although I'm definitely not very aero when riding it. Also, on a super long ride, I'm more restricted when it comes to hand positions. I feel like after a few hours, I'm going to be looking for somewhere else to put my hands other than there.
And there's one thing that you've not mentioned at all, which is tire clearance.
That's because these Goodyear tyres are 2.25 inches, and that translates to 57 mil, which means
I could fit them on this one then as well.
Exactly.
My low fork here, the springs, they only give a little bit less than 30 mil of travel, whereas you get 100 mil and you can lock it up. So there's a little difference there.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit overkill for a lot of the terrain we're doing here, but obviously if you're doing a technical descent, then it opens up, well, it's more capable. And the weight penalty, it's about a kilo or about 800 grams over a fork like that.
Yeah.
Although, give it a feel.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not very
exactly
light.
heavy, is it?
It's not, especially when it's a big bike. It's definitely not my size, but I can tell.
Right, let me tell you a bit more about this bike. This is basically one of the best hardtail mountain bikes that money can buy. Yeah, we really raided the off-road CC lockers for this one. It's a pretty sweet looking machine with carbon 29-inch black ink wheels, an integrated cockpit, and 12-speed SRAM Eagle XX1 group set. If there's gravel that I can't do on this, then, well, either it's not gravel or I'm even more shit than I thought I was.
So Jamie, you have now had a good play on all of the bikes, and you're going to have to choose your weapon of choice for tomorrow. What is it going to be?
Well, tomorrow I think that I will be back on my Sagler, which you can check out using the card up there. I think that you can have a lot of fun on a cheap gravel bike, on a budget gravel bike. Like, whatever you spend, don't think that you can't have a good time on it. You absolutely can. But I think there are a few limitations that mean I will be faster and I'll find it an easier ride on my Sagler. If there's such a thing as an easier 215k ride, I don't think there was. I think the big thing is cable pull disc brakes, not a fan. The mechanical gears are a very minor sort of, they're not that much worse, they're just a little bit worse. You can only grab sort of 2 at a time, whereas on like your group set, and on a lot of electronic group sets, you can hold the button and jump up the whole cassette if you want, which is really nice. The mountain bike, excellent. Like, a lot of people should consider a hardtail mountain bike instead of a gravel bike, I think, because some of them are really good value. Like, if you have a look through Canyon's website, there's some really good value hardtail mountain bikes on there. Wide set of flat bars, and you will find yourself being able to ride over more terrain and more gears to get up, help you get up steep stuff.
And
when
you'll
you're
be in
going
a little
slower.
bit more relaxed riding position as well, which if you are
Exactly.
getting started and you just want to do something to challenge yourself, it might be slightly easier.
But then you've got the other side, and tomorrow's route has, I think, about 30 kilometres of road. Then you are less aerodynamic and it's harder work, and they tend to have draggier tyres. Yeah, if your gravel's got lots of road, then don't have a mountain bike.
So Jamie, do you think that you can actually just buy speed?
To an extent, yes. Up to, I'd say about, at the moment it sits at maybe £2,200, I reckon. That's quite precise, isn't it? But up to that point, you get better equipment. You will go faster on it, I think, with your hydraulic disc brakes, and you maybe even one of the cheapest electronic group sets and a better set of wheels and stuff like that. It will be lighter, so you might climb a bit faster. And then after that, it really is diminishing gains. We both have expensive bikes.
Yeah.
We're not saying don't go and buy expensive bikes if you can afford them. If some world-class athlete turns up on any steel bike, then they're having both of us, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's more about your legs and your head and your technical ability than it is about the bike.
Totally.
So how much do you reckon you should spend on a gravel bike? Let us know down in the comment section below. If you like this content, then give us a like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time. I'll probably be led on the floor after this gravel event.
No.
I'm not going to forgive you for entering me in that.
There's a bailout option.
I might be taking it.
You'll be fine.